Hi, Sarah Bannis here, Learn to Craft. Today we're going to make something really neat. We're going to make these pop-up cards and the little envelope that goes in it. Super pretty, super fun, and super easy. So let's get making. Okay, so here we are at my canvas. Let me just say, if this video is of interest to you or helpful, like the video, but also subscribe to my channel. When you're subscribed, you'll get notification when the new videos come out, probably once or twice a week. Just lots of really neat ways to teach you how to design for yourself, but also new materials and fun craft projects. So like I said, subscribe to the channel, you get a notification. So let's get started. These are so incredibly easy. So let's get rid of this. And we'll get rid of this. So the first thing we're going to do is over here on the left-hand side, I'm going to click Upload. Now this file, I will link in the video description where it can be purchased. It's just a really fun file. I'm also going to link in the video description our Cricut group, Cricut for Beginners. It's about maybe 700,000 members, super friendly, super helpful. You'll fit right in. Definitely join us there. And I'll also link the cardstock and the glue that I use so that you can have access to that. The cardstock that I'm going to use on this, I use two different kinds on it. I use a Cricut one that's almost like a textured linen, super pretty. And I'm going to use a 65-pound Recollections, and I'll link where to get that in the video description. So I'm going to go over here to the right hand, or to the left hand side, excuse me, and click Upload. And now I'm going to click Upload Image, and I'm going to click Browse. And I'm going to click, I know I left this one in my downloads. So I'm over here on the left, I'm going to click Downloads. And there it is right there, Butterfly Pop-Up. And I'm going to want the SVGs of it. Now I'm going to want all 5 of these. Okay, these are all of the parts of the card. So I'm going to upload all of them now, just to save us some time. So click Upload over here on the right. And now I'm going to click the next one. Same thing. And SVGs, second one. And then we'll have all of our parts of the card uploaded. So we can just cut and assemble. And the nice thing about this file is the designer really gave us quite a few different options for different sentiments we can put on there. So, and you can always use your own too. You can see she added all kinds of extra ones, so you can choose what you like, which is nice. Another nice thing about this card is that you can, I'll show you in a minute, but there's parts that you can make the decision on what you want to do with them. You can cut, there's one part that you can cut out, you can use a pen or you can use a foil quill. And then there's several parts that you can either use foil quill or pen. Okay, so there's all of our parts. So let's start out with this part, okay? So this is going to be the front of our card. And I think this is just the front. Yeah, this is just the front of the card. Okay, so you can see here, over here on the right-hand side, we have 2 parts, right? So we have this, which is the butterfly, and then we have this, which is the main piece with the corner cutouts, right? So now this butterfly, we have an option. We can either have that right, and it would write the outline. We can have it cut out so that you're going to see the cardstock behind it, which is what we're going to do. Or we could use a foil, like a foil. There's like a little foil tip that you can use, and then foil. That's super pretty too. We're going to cut it out. I really like that peekaboo style. So we're going to leave this. This should be a basic cut. Yep, so it's set as a basic cut. And this is also set as a basic cut. Now these are all going to upload to size, so you don't have to change the sizing at all. So I'm going to select all of these. They should already be attached. Let me see. No, I'm going to click attach so that now it's all set to do everything in one. It'll all happen where it's supposed to. So now we're going to go to make it. And I'm going to use a mat because we're doing cardstock. So on mat, confirm. And now I'm going to load my cardstock onto my mat, and I'll meet you over at my maker and we'll get this cut. Before we go over to my maker, let me actually show you the setting that I'm going to use for this. So this cardstock is going to be the 65-pound Recollections brand cardstock. Because we are dealing with kind of intricate cut on the butterfly, I'm going to show you the setting that I'm going to use, and it'll give us a perfect cut on this particular material. So, oh, it's already set to it. So it's cardstock for intricate cuts. So you would go to browse materials, and then you would select, you would type it in, and that's the one that we want. So it's already set to it. So I must have used it on my last project. So I'm going to leave it at the default pressure. Okay, and then now we're all set. Now I'll meet you over at my machine. Okay, you can see that my machine is flashing and ready to go. So now I'm going to load my mat in, and I have my cardstock on here already. When you put your mat in, don't like jam it in there, but hold it taut when you're pushing the load button, and that'll make sure you get a good load on it. Okay, and then it's going to go ahead and it's going to read the mat, and then it's so that it knows if it has a 12 by 12 or 24 by 12. Okay, and now this is flashing. Click that. And now it's going to cut the outside of our card. And I have just loaded the regular, just the plain blade that comes with your machine. It's just a regular carbide blade. Nothing special. Now we're all done. I'm going to click this to unload my mat, the flashing button. Okay. And now come over to my craft table and I'm going to show you 2 tips on dealing with cardstock. Okay. So here we are at my craft table. I'm going to show you 2 tips that will make dealing with cardstock easier. Okay. So first tip, when you are, don't pick this up and peel it. If you do that, what's going to happen is, you know, when you're peeling ribbon for like presents and you get that curl, that's what's going to happen if you just peel it. You want to lift it up, put your fingers under it, and lift. You're lifting, not peeling. Okay? And you're going to end up with very, very minimal curling that way. See? Flat paper. Okay? Especially when you get to your actual project. And sometimes it helps to bend the mat away. Okay? And then lift under that. And make sure you don't rip it because you do have a couple of delicate parts here. So just kind of get your finger under there and lift. You're not peeling, you're lifting. Okay? And that will keep you from ending up with curled cardstock. Super, super important. So we will clean all this up in a second. I'll take my weeding tool and just poke out any of those extras. Super pretty though. Okay, now let me show you tip number 2. Okay, so to clean up all of this gunk off of your mat, don't try to pick them off one by one. Super easy. Get yourself a store card, old credit card, scrape it off like new. Okay, so now let's go back over to Design Space and we will get the next part loaded in and I'll show you how to do the text work and how to choose what function you're going to use on your text work. Okay, so we are at my maker. I have my cardstock on my mat. You can see how it has almost like, it's hard to see it here. I'll show you on the craft table. It's got a really pretty, like almost linen feel to it. I really like that. The pen we're going to use, these are Cricut glitter. These are in a mermaid selection. I'll link these in the video description. They're really pretty. Okay, so now what you're going to do, you have your blade still in your B clamp and your A clamp. You're going to open it, drop this in here, and then you have to kind of push down. And you'll hear it, listen, and you'll hear it click. Hear it pop down, and then just close that. Okay, and now same thing, we're going to load the mat, and when we load the mat, we're going to hold it taut. Okay. And it has everything loaded. It has your pen and it has your blade, so you won't have to change anything. It'll just do both functions. If you had one where you were setting it up with different colors of pen, then it would prompt you to change out the pen. It would stop, it would pause, and it would prompt you to change out the pen color. Ooh, I can see that glitter. I don't know if you saw it, but just like totally sparkled. This is gonna be super, super, super pretty. This is actually the first time that I have used this specific glitter pen. I've used other ones, but the mermaid set I just opened. And it's got a bunch of really pretty colors with it too. It's got, let's see, it's got blue, purple, green. Actually, this one's like a pink. Ooh, yeah, that's super, super, super pretty. And that's nice and deep in color too. That's gonna look beautiful. Okay, so now it'll start its cut function. Okay, unload it. Yep, that got a perfect cut. That's perfect. Let me just show you real quick this glitter. I don't know if you can see it. It's really hard to see. Do you see that sparkle? It is so pretty. Okay, so now let's go ahead and I will, we'll go back over to Design Space and I'll just show you real quick how we set up the other two and then I'll cut those off camera and then we'll get this all set up. Okay, so here we are back at Design Space and I have loaded the 3 remaining pieces onto the mat. We have this, which is, this is the muscle that'll be the pop-up mechanism. And then here are the 2, the top and bottom of the butterfly. And this is actually the envelope. Okay, so I'm going to, this part right here is all set to cut. I am going to hide that for now. If you're ever wondering how to hide something, it's that little eye over here on your layers panel. This is, like I said, the mechanism, so I'm going to hide that for now. This I'm going to be cutting in white also. So everything is all attached. You can't see it, but down here below we have all of the different sayings. So again, with it selected, I'm going to go over here to the right, top right, click Ungroup, and then I'm going to slide down just a little bit, and I'm going to make a determination on which one of these. I'm going to leave Careful Live Butterflies inside. That's cute. And then I'm going to leave Fly too. I'm actually going to leave this exactly how it is. So I'm going to take care of these. I'm going to get rid of those. And then this butterfly, let me see. Okay, so that I'm actually not sure that I want on there just because, you know, I do want it on there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that to be a cut or a pen as well. So I'm going to change all of that to be the pen function. And let's just make sure that we're doing this all in the same color pen. You know, I'm not going to. I'll show you how to change out the color. We'll make this one blue. And then we'll leave this one the other color, okay? And so that's set to basic cut. Change that to pen. Okay, and then that is set to pen. And then this we want set to pen also. Okay, so that's all of it. Now I'm going to select all of it. And again, bottom right, I'm going to click Attach. And now everything's all set. So I will take you over to, I'm not going to make you watch the cutting of the mechanism and the cutting of the 2 butterflies. I'll cut that off camera. But I will bring you over to my machine so that I can show you how it where it'll show you to switch out your pens so that you can have 2 different color pens. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click Make It. And this one I'm going to do in that same, I'm going to click on Matte, Confirm. And this one I'm going to do in that same, like that the Cricut cardstock, that really pretty like linen one. And I'm going to click Continue. And that gave me a perfect cut at the setting it was at. So, which setting did I use for that? No, I can't remember. Let's see, I know I typed in Cardstock. And then, oh, and then I did the insert card. That's what I did. That was a perfect setting. So done, and then I clicked the drop down for pressure and clicked more. So now that's perfect. Okay, so now let's go over to the machine and I'll show you how to switch out the pen when it tells you to. Okay, so let's see. So we have that pen in, and then let me just check real quick which pen it's saying to load first. Okay, so it's saying to load the blue pen first. It'll say at the bottom of the screen which one you want to load first. So we have the other pen in. Let's switch that out. Okay, and again, drop it down, click, and close. Okay, and now it's all ready to load this up, hold it taut, load. Okay, and now flashing, click that. Oh yeah, this one's really pretty too. That is a beautiful color. I love how intense the colors are, how like dark they are. I almost went with like a gold color. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I went with this. Okay, so now over on Design Space, it should be prompting me to switch this out and put in the other pen. Again, drop it in, click it down, close, and now it's flashing again. It's ready to go. So click that. I am definitely going to order some more of these pens. Super, super pretty. I'll tell you something about the gold pack though, because I hadn't really looked. I had bought a gold pack and it had like 5 in it. And I thought that they were all just, I thought it was just giving me 5 gold pens. And what was really neat about it, I was taking a look at it, and what's really neat about it is that it actually gave 5 different thicknesses of the pen, which is a really nice thing to have, right? Because you don't know which thickness you're necessarily going to want. Look at that, was really nice. Oh, I can't wait to see this. This is going to be absolutely beautiful. Now for the butterfly, initially I was thinking I was going to use like a much lighter weight cardstock, at least for one of the 2 layers of the butterfly. And I decided, oh yeah, that's beautiful. And I decided not to. I decided to go with 65 pound for both layers of the butterfly. So if that does end up being just a little bit too heavy, oh, that's so sparkly. If it ends up being just a little bit too heavy on the butterfly, so, like if it, when you open it, if it doesn't just flutter out, next time I would just drop it down, down to like 40 pound cardstock. But I think the 65 will work just fine. I just didn't want it to end up being, I didn't want to do this first one and have it end up being like too fragile where it didn't pop up at all. And honestly, that's so much of this craft is kind of trial and error. Oh, this is going to be absolutely beautiful. Okay, so you don't have to sit here and watch this whole thing cut. We will go over to the craft table. I will, off camera, I'll get the other 2 parts cut. I'll get the mechanism cut, and I'll get the 2 parts of the butterfly cut. And then we'll meet over at my craft table, and we will get this all assembled. Okay, so we're back at my craft desk. This is the easy part. So the assembly is the easy part. We have everything done. Now we just got to put it together. This is just a little quilling set that I got on Amazon. I'll link it in the video description. It came with this fantastic little poker. So I'm just going to poke out these little bits. Another way you can do it is you can take a lint roller, and that'll get a lot of your bits out too. Oops. That was a little bit deeper than I wanted to go with it, but that's okay. No harm, no foul. Okay, so this last little bit here. Okay, I think that's, oh, one. That's another big one there. Okay, there we go. That's all of them. Okay, that's enough. So this is what we want to do. So we're going to take this and we're going to fold that. There's a little dotted line there. Makes it easy to fold. Fold that. And actually, I'm going to like kind of use the card to get it even better. Okay, and then I'm going to pop these little pieces out here. Little center bits. Oops. Okay. All right, so, and then I will fold this, and that's folding right, and I'm telling you, that glitter, I don't know if you can see that, but that glitter is so pretty. Let's try to get real close. Do you see that? So pretty. Okay, so let me try to get this right on the line so that I don't have a weird, and I gotta tell you, this paper, this Cricut paper is super, super nice. I know you can't probably see that, but it's got like I said, like a, I don't know if linen is the right word, but like a linen feel to it. It's got like a texture to it. Really, really like that. Okay, so that's that. This is this part. So ordinarily what you would do is you would stick these right through the little corner pieces, right? But I already know that with this one, on this other side, when you go to, when you put in the butterfly, I'll just show you. Well, no, I don't want to. So when you put in the butterfly, when it opens, it can get caught on this corner. So I'm actually just going to glue down this side. Okay, so I'm going to take this and take my glue. This is the glue that I use. I'll link this in the video description too. It's fantastic if you do any kind of, actually, so I already put some in this. It's just a kind of precision tip. So get it up to the corner, but you don't want to get it too far up because you don't want it to squeeze out the edges. You don't want to like goop it on there, but you want to, you know, get enough. Okay, so, oops. So I want to make sure that I have this short up so that it's nice and even, top and bottom. There we go. That's going to look really, really, really pretty. Okay, so the little tiny bit that came out the edge there, I'll scrape that up while it's still wet. No big deal though. And that's just a tip for you when you're making it. It just, I mean, you can just slip it in there if you prefer, but like I said, it does catch on there a little bit. So this is just better. Okay, so now next step is we're going to put this together. Well, here, let me just show you. Let's look at what the outside looks like. How pretty is that? So pretty. And if you had wanted to, you even could have put like, you know, text on the outside of it, and that would have been really pretty too. So now with this part, this is your mussel. So fold it in half first, okay? And then you can see there's like a little dotted line there. I don't know if you can see that or not. But this part's super easy. It's all fold that down and fold that down, okay? And now you're going to fold these in. You're going to make, so this is called a valley fold for that. And then these parts you're just going to fold in. Okay, and then you're going to form kind of like a triangle here. Once you're doing it, it's very self-explanatory, because what you're going to do is you're going to take this and glue that to that part. So you're just kind of making a triangle there, okay? So you're going to do the same thing with this part. Everything folds in, so fold right around, going round, right around. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to take a little bit of glue here, and I'm just going to put it right on this part, on the smaller of the two tabs. Okay, and then I'm going to put it right there so that it forms this like triangle. Okay, so I'm gonna let that go, and now I'm gonna do the other side, same thing. I'm gonna take, and I'm gonna put just on the small part here. And I'll link in the video description also these little precision bottles are really very handy to have, and I don't think I paid much for them. Maybe $5 for the entire set. There's like 10 in there or something, 5, 10, something, plenty. Okay, so then I'm just kind of pinching that together. And then kind of, while you're doing it, kind of work this a little bit. You know, obviously if this is worked, if you have this triangle worked, then when you set it all up, it'll just kind of, I don't know, it moves more easily. So just kind of work your edges. There we go. Okay. So now, oops, that's okay. So now this has got a little plus on it. Oh, you know, so I should have done that first, but that's, okay. So I should have done that before I glued this down. Don't glue this down. You want to put your muscle in first. So, but that's okay. That's okay. We can just kind of shimmy that up a little bit. So what you're going to do is you're going to put one side through this side. Oops. This side through this side. What am I doing wrong here? Put this side through this side. Put that valley fold in place. Okay. And then okay. And now this side is going to go through there, through the top hole. And then this side will go through this bottom hole. I really wish I hadn't already glued that down, but let me try to like pop that up just a little bit. So yeah, so make sure that you do this part first. Okay, so that's okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue on this. You can learn from my mistake. And then I'm going to slide that right in there, okay? Okay, and then on this side, I'm going to slide that in there. And I'm going to put a little glue on there. Now, had I not made that mistake, what I would have done is I would have also used a little bit of masking tape. So I will masking tape also just to give it a little bit of extra strength. So I'll let that dry for a second. But then I am going to masking tape down this side. And I should have done it. I should have done it with the other side also. But made a mistake, and that's okay too. And of course I can't get it started. Where does this tape start? I'm just going to start it anywhere. Okay, there we go. Good enough. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to tape that down. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take the small rectangle, so the smallest one in the corner here, and put glue on that. And that's going to get glued right down on this side. Okay, and then same thing goes for the other side, okay? Smallest bit right here. Okay, and then you can just close it. And then just kind of let that sit for a minute, okay? And while that's sitting, I'm actually going to put this on top of it just to hold it down. So now take your 2 butterflies and I'm going to fold. Actually, so this one you don't need the antenna on. I'm going to cut the antenna off that guy. Okay, oops. I cut part of his head off. That's okay. Fold it in half. There's little dotted lines. Fold it right in half. Okay. And you can, if you want to, you can take the extra step and kind of ink the edges, and that looks super, super pretty. And then you're going to fold the edges on this one. Fold it right in half. Okay, and then I'm going to glue this down, but I'm only going to glue it in like strategic places. I'm not going to like go through and glue this entire thing. I'm just going to glue it in like a few strategic places so that it's good and glued down. You got to kind of work a little bit fast because you don't want to your glue to dry while you're gluing the rest of it. So you do got to kind of work a little bit quickly. Few strategic places. Okay, so that's all of our glue. Let's go ahead and pop this right on here. And if you do get any glue on the back layer on the red, it's okay. It'll dry. This particular one will dry clear. So no worry. I mean, you don't want to get a lot because you can end up with those like shiny spots, but it'll be fine. No big deal. And just tap it all down so you get a good solid. That's so pretty. Okay, and now, last step, all we need to do is glue it to the muscle. So I'm going to, on the inside here, not too much. You don't want it seeping out over the edges, but you want to make sure you get good, decent amount. And then fold it. Make sure you're all the way in there. Close. And I'm going to let this sit for just a second so that we can get a good... I just want to open it so I can show you, but I am going to let it sit on its own. Yeah, I'll definitely, I think I might even go back through and I think I might use some vinyl to put a pretty sentiment on the front of it. Oops. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So this part came off. I might actually just glue that down also, just to give it a little bit of extra strength so that when it's opening and closing, you get, you don't have to worry about it popping off. But that's it. That's all there is to it. So pretty. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to glue this down. I think that'll give it extra. I'm still going to pop it out through the hole, but I'm going to glue it down so that I don't have any issues with it. So I'm not going to go all the way up because I'm going out through that hole. So I won't go all the way up to the corner there. And I got to be careful not to go where the butterfly is. That should be perfect. Okay, so now I'm going to pop this out through that hole. And out through that hole. Okay, so now we're going to have it perfect. Now that's going to be absolutely perfect. Oh, that's so pretty. I love it. And there's your butterfly. And then the more you open and close it, you know, you want it, like I said, kind of work it a little bit so that when you're, when whoever you're sending it to opens it, it pops right open. And like I said, if you wanted the butterfly to kind of flutter, you could even use like colored copy paper to give it like a really light flutter. But that's all just gonna depend on which, you know, how heavy of cardstock you use. But that is so pretty. I love it. So that's all there is to it. These are super easy and fun. Like the video if it was of interest or helpful to you. Subscribe to my channel. You'll get notification when the new videos come out. I'll link everything in the video description. I'll link the file for this. I'll link the cardstock that I use, the pens. These pens, you gotta take a look at that again. It's just so sparkly. I'll link that. I'll link the group. Make sure you join us there. And I mean, that's about it. I hope you have a good day. Bye.